Yep, so I did it. I drove my Tesla and the battery died on me. So this video is going to highlight all the craziness that had to take place for me to get back up and running. And it just so happened we were traveling out of town on vacation. So wasn't the best time, but I'll highlight all of that in the video. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun, crazy to do. And you'll see how I had to get myself back up and running without the help of Tesla because they were not helpful. Okay, so to be fair, and just to give you some background of kind of how this all took place, we were heading out of town to Florida, and the closest airport, or not necessarily the closest airport, but the most economical airport is 3 hours away in Dallas. We live in Louisiana. So I've taken this trip a number of times, and I know that there's at least one destination charger that I have to get to before I continue on with my trip. So at this time, I admit I was not 100% charged, but I knew I was okay because I was only about an hour and a half to the charging station. So this is showing me only being about 14 miles to that charging station, which really had me worried. And I was like, why did I lose so much juice? I know I wasn't fully charged, but I still should have been able to make it there with plenty of mileage left. And at that time, I just really didn't understand it. So I had to, of course, slow down, because in the Tesla, if you slow down on driving fast, that kind of all manages how many miles that you have. So I'm creeping, going a lot slower to make it to our first destination, which is the charging station. And by this time, since I had to slow down, we're running behind. So this is us transitioning and getting actually to the charging station to charge as much as we could so we could get to the actual airport. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how this all transpired. Now, I will say, before our trip, I was not at 100%. I was at about 90. And I knew I would have enough juice to get to my first destination in order to make it to the second destination, which would be the airport. So we're driving, and at that time we're almost there, but the car is starting to really slow in terms of the amount of power. It's saying that I have to slow it down to make sure that I can actually make the destination. And so that first kind of caught me off guard because I thought I had plenty of juice to get there. And then I actually made it there to the destination of the first charging station, and we charged, but we only charged a little bit longer than what the recommended was to actually make it to the we only charged enough to make it to the recommendation of the airport. So it may have told us to charge like 35 minutes, so I charged about 45, saying that would give me plenty of time and plenty of juice to make it to the airport. So after we leave the first charging station, I'm like, I have plenty of juice to get to the airport per the car, and knowing that you have to adjust a little bit with riding the car. If you drive a little bit faster, it may, take a little bit more battery juice. So I charged a little bit longer, probably about 45 minutes to ensure I would make it there. But by the time we were probably about a half an hour out, I saw that the power was draining dramatically. It was, or drastically, I should say. And it wasn't extremely cold, but the one thing that I did not plan for was probably the luggage. And I'm thinking that weight had something to do with the car. The luggage, and I'll be honest as well, normally I have my aero covers on. I had recently lost 2 aero covers, and so I bought them as replacements, but then thought, okay, if I get to this parking garage and my car's gonna be there for a week, I didn't want someone to steal my aero covers. So keep in mind, I not only have the weight that I'm dealing with, but now I'm also dealing with no aero covers, which is supposed to take some of the drag out of your ride. So those are things that I had not anticipated at that time. And so we barely made it to the airport. We got to the airport and it was about 1 mile left, almost went down to 0. And we had 45 minutes to catch our flight. So I had no time to think about the Tesla. I knew it was at least safe and parked. And so I would have to kind of deal with it as we were traveling. So we got the car parked, made our way, and luckily did make our flight with about 10 minutes to spare. We were one of the last set of passengers to get on the flight. So we made it. That was a good thing. We did make it. So I had the opportunity to look online and see what some people were saying. Some people were saying that they use their own insurance to tow their car, or they call roadside assistance to tow their vehicle somewhere. But everything that I read said that roadside assistance, there's an extra fee, like it's not covered under your warranty, so you would be charged by Tesla. So of course my wheels are turning. I'm like, I think I can do this. I think I can. It's not going to be the easiest thing, but I can eliminate Tesla, I can eliminate my insurance, and I can do this on my own. So we're back at the airport. Now we're going to go see about the Tesla and how to get it charged so we can continue on to our trip back home, which is about 3 hours away. All right, let's go get it. So my plan, after looking at the airport layout, I was able to get the car right to level 1. As soon as we got into the parking, it died. So I should have to go to level 2. If I'm able to go to level 2 or push the car level 2, there should be a level 2 charger there. Charge there for a few minutes and make it to the supercharging station so that I can go ahead and go home. So we shall see. Finally, okay, so after looking and searching for my car for about 20 minutes because we were in such a rush to get on the plane and make sure we made our flight, I located our vehicle, and I thought I was on level 1 because it was the very first spot when we entered the garage. Come to find out, we're on level 3, which is great because there are EV stations on this level, so I won't have to push my car up a level as I thought. I thought I was on level 1, and it said that EV stations were level 2 and 3. So we should be in business. Here she is right here. Let's see if we can. So as you can see, battery 0. Okay, I'm on 0 juice, but I'm actually rolling, which is a good thing. So I got to get to that charging station on the other side. It's just on the other side of this bay. So if I get there, I'm gonna pick up some speed just in case I got to coast. But I'm at 0 miles per hour, and she's actually working. Made it, y'all. 0 miles per hour. I didn't have to worry about Tesla. I didn't have to worry about calling roadside assistance. So of course this is a level 2 charging station. So I really honestly probably just need maybe 20 minutes or so, maybe 30 minutes to get just enough miles to get to a supercharging station, which shouldn't be that far away. So I'm gonna let her charge probably to about 4 o'clock and then keep it moving from there. But I made it, y'all.
So this has truly been an experience and an ordeal. I just have to make sure I plan better for next time, making sure that I'm thinking about not having my aero tires on, or aero caps on, I should say, having luggage, and just making sure that I really make sure I'm fully charged at home, fully charged at any charging station that I come to ensure I can get to the airport. Man, I was too lucky, but so glad I did not have to worry and end up calling Tesla and having roadside assistance charge me something ridiculous to get my car taken care of, and for not having to call my insurance. It's part of my insurance package, but waiting for a tow truck can just be a long task. So again, got it to where it needs to be. Moving on to our next destination so we can make it home. Real men get it done.